I fully agree with what Red God just said, that we should just turn the narrative now around and start basically become psychos, right? Just do a 180, still be a kind of aggressive towards them, hostile and everything, but just all of a sudden act completely different so we look like complete lunatics, right? Does anybody here have a problem if we also try to create some type of to create animosity within their org, to turn them on each other, and that could lead to a breakup, that could lead to disbanding of that org? Does anybody have a problem with that?
I think that's probably the best thing we can do. Really, fuck them.
Every once in a while, you get a win. 8 months ago, I released a video called Rings, a documentary on StarCitizen's cheating underworld. And it exposed a group of cheaters and hackers designing a program called Night City, which led to all kinds of problems. Teleportation, infinite weapons, every kind of conceivable hack and cheat that you could think of, this program was capable of doing. And over the course of a few weeks, I was able to slowly splice together information from various different sources and expose the group that was behind creating the cheat and give the information directly to CIG for them to take action. And I can gladly say that ever since then, the amount of support that I've received has been truly astounding. Perhaps you may have not noticed cheaters in the game before this, or maybe you have after. But I can tell you there has been a remarkably dramatic drop in the amount of cheating instances that have been happening in StarCitizen. Whether or not CIG is responsible for these changes, I don't know. But one thing's for sure, the development of the Night City hack has ended, at least for the time being, and at least for general public consumption. What you're seeing here is a screenshot of a conversation between two of the developers behind the Night City cheat engine hack that we had in the first video. After the video came out, things started melting down. People started pointing fingers, and the various moles that we had implanted throughout some of these cheating networks were able to give us some valuable information and insight as to what happened after. Long story short, the program was killed. And some of the developers went their separate ways, blaming each other, and sometimes quite publicly and quite hostile. So whatever the case may be, and the fears that people had that when the documentary came out that it would make the cheating problem worse, at least for now, we've stopped one of these groups from creating a cheat system and getting their hooks into StarCitizen too early, which was always the intention of the documentary. To bring these things out into the light so they cannot survive, and they come into CIG's attention and into the general community. Because like it or not, each and every one of us who plays StarCitizen is engaged in a war between the people who want to play fairly and the people who do not. We are the first and last line of defense for CIG if we want to maintain a healthy, happy, and exciting experience in StarCitizen, free from cheaters and hackers of all kinds. We will never get rid of all of them, but we can stop the disease before it becomes too big. And things like this are an example as to the brave people who come in, spend their time, and risk getting publicly shamed or doxxed to make sure that StarCitizen has a bright and healthy future, free of people who would want to do it harm to make a quick buck or to ruin your experience. But even though we were successful in stopping Night City, some developers, including Nightfire, still continue to work on different programs, this one in particular called Ring City, in response to the video that we put out. You will never stop them all, but what we can do is we can raise awareness for it and make sure that when they eventually do crawl out of their little caves and start affecting the game and selling their cheats, we can engage them, ban them, and expose them to the rest of the community. And then hopefully, over time, we make the environment for StarCitizen simply just not worth it for people to show up and cheat in the game that we all have invested our time, money, and passion into. As of right now, Nightfire is the only known developer working currently on a new cheat program called Ring City, which he uses sparingly, or so I'm told. The use of this program is not given out to the public yet, and he spends most of his time developing it in quote-unquote private situations. However, CIG has been notified, and all the information was forwarded to CIG's legal department as well as the community team. Ultimately, it's in CIG's hands what happens to this particular individual. But what is important is that when you see behavior like you're seeing in the video here that is blatantly and obviously something outside of the game's norms, just go through the proper channels and systems and make sure that you report it. There may be some times where false positives could be the case. In that case, our Discord is always open and publicly available to anyone who feels that they've seen something suspicious. And if you'd like to get a second pair of eyes on it, instead of maybe feeling like you're bugging CIG, then please come by our Discord and post what you've seen, and we will let you know whether it's just simple game lag in the game being silly, or if there's maybe something a little more going on. During the investigation of the first documentary, Rings, we discovered some disturbing information on a lot of different groups and PvP organizations within StarCitizen. Although some of the evidence was circumstantial at best, we felt like we didn't need to publish any of the results we found because we simply didn't have what we call smoking gun evidence. It's one thing to point the finger, but you need to be sure that who you're pointing the finger at has credible and realistic evidence that you can act on. Otherwise, all you have is hyperbole. At CitizenCon this year, a lot of us would go out to bars after a long day, and especially after the esports APNO tournament, a lot of us just wanted to unwind, relax, and chill out. For the most part, we all had a really good time, and I would suggest anybody to go enjoy themselves at CitizenCon whenever it comes around. But what I didn't know was what happened to a friend of mine, Miss Gabby's, during one of these night outs. The man in this video is known as Buttery Pancakes, a member of a group called the Liberty Reapers, a PvP organization in StarCitizen that prides itself in fair play and tournament-ready teams. One of their pilots, New Cabbage, was one of the LR pilots that flew with Zero State in the tournament that Apnos Esports put on right here at CitizenCon. I didn't really care too much for other teams and their internal politics. It's just simply not my business. Even though this team has on many occasions harassed me when they can and put out videos discrediting what I do, my personal feelings are not the point. But recently I was contacted by an anonymous alt that gave me information about actions that were taken at CitizenCon against Gabby. Was a little, well, offside to say the least. And when they showed me other evidence of some stuff going on the internals that regarded me, I knew right away I had to say something. Whoever this concerned citizen was that was part of Liberty Reapers and was showing screenshots of their internal conversations about the fact that one of their members, Buttery Pancakes, decided to take it upon himself to spit on Gabby at CitizenCon, thinking it was funny. But it doesn't stop there. He showed me that they had been targeting Gabby for quite a while now, and they were also targeting other streamers, including myself. And they were also doxing, finding people's personal information and trying to find ways to use it against them for extortion purposes and just, I guess you could say, general blackmail. What's worse is that the leadership of this organization, Azir Lance, Lycosar, and Hiba, not only didn't say anything about it, but promoted this behavior and encouraged their members to go after individuals such as Gabby and other members of the community. For a group of players that considers itself to be some kind of a moral beacon in the StarCitizen community, I believe spitting on other members of the community and openly degrading them in public, along with a targeted media campaign, is what I consider to be toxic to a different level. California law considers spitting a battery, which is punishable as a misdemeanor. Even if there was no bodily injury, the offender could still face up to 6 months in jail or up to a $2,000 fine. What's disturbing to me is that this behavior was not publicly called out or addressed. Instead, it was championed between members of the LR leadership and ultimately gone unchallenged and unchecked. Whoever this person was within LR leaking this information to me explained to me that the team never used to be this way. That over time and over the years, the team had slowly been accumulating certain individuals, which led to a more toxic environment. And that the only way to save the squadron that they consider is still their people, it was to expose some of this behavior and get rid of the ones and purge the cancer, as they say it, from the inside out. When I reached out to Gabby's and I asked her if any of this was true, she said yes. I asked her why she didn't go public with this information, considering this was a form of assault. She told me she wanted to, but that she would inevitably get targeted by LR again, and this time more seriously. The stress of having to deal with the loss of her friend Mental Shock, who also passed away, was stressful enough. But with the information that I had gathered throughout the years of investigating, it made sense. That when I put all the pieces of the puzzle together, I could expose what was really going on to everybody. During the first documentary, we had uncovered some evidence of LR's internal conversations leaked by some of their members during that time. It shows some toxic behavior and some political wrongdoings, but nothing that I was currently interested in at the time. I was after cheaters and criminals. But when a whistleblower from inside the organization contacted me and showed me evidence of things going on, I knew right away it was personal to them. Around a year ago, the Liberty Reapers squadron engaged in what they describe as a war with a group called Shadow Moses. And even though some of these video clips and audio clips will be from that, which I will state clearly in the bottom, what it proves is some of the strategies employed against Shadow Moses were identically the same kinds of strategies employed against myself and other members of my team. Down from coordinated media strikes, to manipulation of information, down to doxing, down to alts getting in and stream sniping myself and Gabby's, among other things, including other streamers that they've targeted, including Captain Burks. It's important to understand that this investigation crosses everything from 2022 and earlier all the way up until the present day. We're going to show you them in order, including the war between Liberty Reapers and Shadow Moses, depicting some of the strategies that they employed during that time, and also used against Avenger Squadron in the following years. It's also important to understand that during this time, a member of Liberty Reapers and Gabby's close friend, Mental Shock, passed away from suicide. Perhaps this was the reason why Buttery felt it was necessary to spit on Gabby, and so I started deep diving, asking people, and pulling on my intel strings to find out just exactly what's been going on. Whoever was in LR, feeding information to myself and the rest of the intel team, felt it was necessary to expose this information. And when you see it, I think I know why.
We need to discuss what to do with the next video. Some people...
Yeah.
Just to say this and then the rest can jump in. So I think first we need to discuss about the next video, what we want to do with it, and who has ideas how to utilize the alts that we know, how to buzz them, how to showcase the bad shit they're doing, etc., 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 and see what can be done, what can be damaging, what is stupid, and stuff like that. So whoever is involved with that mostly, please speak.
Like via the YouTubes.
That's part of the idea. We intend to provoke them in a very elegant way to try to make that happen. YouTube would be one of the venues to make that happen.
Yeah, I don't know anything more public than that, you know.
It sounds like we need to fight them in the PU and in the AC, so that way we defeat them everywhere they go. And if they got Twitchers, we just go to
Hunt
their
them
Twitter
down, snipe 'em.
streams and beat the shit out of them. Send
Got
them
the
to jail,
birds.
put them
Berg's
in
still
jail.
with them.
The
Yeah.
issue
well-
is our own availability.
So-
And AC is a tough one. Like, how many of us can get in there at specific times when they're in there? You know,
Alright.
As an ex-Black Fleet person, I would love to see Golo absolutely disintegrate another org. So
Amen.
And let's try to create shit for them so they disband. That would be the best scenario for us, correct?
I would concur. Let's
Yeah.
just try
We
to
knock on the-
dissolve them the best we can.
Does
knock
anyone
on our counters?
not agree to this? Please speak so we can hear your opinion and try to come out with an alternative if that's the case. Anyone, please. Good.
Now, does anyone have any objection to any particular means that we might take to achieve these goals? What does anyone consider morally off limits?
Kill them all.
Otherwise, whatever means necessary. Okay.
Total war.
We'll take some action to see if we can disrupt their integrity.
If Virgil was doing this real life, I would reach him and I'd punch him in the nose. And basically kick the living shit out of him. Okay, we set the objectives and we kinda agree. Best would be not only to beat them but also to make them disband. Because let's be honest, that's what gamers do. You disband your opposition. Who's gonna challenge you then? Pick up what's value there and move on to the next one. Something that we need to talk about, that's how to and who to target in their org. If we have any information, that obviously is intel, but if we know anything that we can use, somebody who we know might be more fragile than the others, who is very egotistical. So if anybody has anything on their mind right now, please speak.
Galoith, Virgil, and First Spear. Those are the three most fragile people.
Definitely Golo.
In terms of what, he's a pussy?
No,
Next,
in
fragile,
terms of,
pressure cracks.
He's
if
very
you put him in a-
fragile and cares what people think a lot.
He'll start screaming and like having a mental breakdown if you put pressure on him. Olo, First
Are you
Spear.
shitting
I don't know
me,
about
right?
Virgil. I've been
I
screamed
can
at.
hear the high-pitched scream.
I've been screamed at by Galoith at least like 30 times over the years because he died in a fight and started blaming it on everybody else. And
Yeah.
First Spear is somebody, if you put pressure on him, he'll get bent about it for like months. And I made him quit the game in 310. So I'm on my mission to do that again.
I think establishing a good relationship with ramming department would be a great way to get in his head too, because he was afraid of them. He mentioned them specifically, and he was afraid of Ranger Squadron.
So we already talked briefly about the people who are most susceptible to getting in their head. Who are the people who most likely have the least allegiance to Shadow Moses that are more likely to jump from that org to another org?
Albert.
Nasmordian, murder.
You think I'm the murder and Nasmordian?
I think that Nasmordian will go wherever the wind blows. He just wants to play with his friends.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Completely.
Well, that's
Just being friendly.
So let
with
me get
them.
this straight. Golo is a psycho. Right?
Oh,
He screams when he dies. No. I mean, does he scream when you lose official tournament match, or does he scream when he dies in a BR?
BR in a PU.
That's a psycho. That's a psycho. Okay, that's a fucking psycho. Okay, we all rage, but that's a psycho.
He rage quit the first time I killed him in VR.
Okay, nice. That's good to know. So, okay, what I remember is that Moses loved trash talking Galoid, publicly attacking him, doing videos about him, etc. I think we should target Galoid heavily. Now, this is the manipulation part. I would target Galoid relentlessly, just like we did after the tournament when Lyko They're my new asshole. One more thing. Is it true that Galoit didn't allow you guys in black to practice against other orcs?
Yes.
Because
He
he's
didn't
afraid.
He was afraid of losing.
Okay. Oof. That's
We're gonna destroy that guy.
and only target individuals.
Should I attack Goloith directly in this video?
We'll
If you
give
could highlight
our opinion.
if you could highlight the biggest target point on Galoith is the fact that he joined the people who were abusing him. That is going to establish the narrative. Very nice. Okay, and then I think final remark is that obviously it goes without saying none of this should leave the Reapers, including to the candidates, because the candidates are still under assessment.
Our code, which everybody hit accept, so to speak. They scrolled down through it, the license agreements, and hit yes. I have read this. States some important things that define what it means to be a Reaper. One of them I will recite to remind us all, both the fancy form and its translation. Element 2 in our code. A man deserving of a station, when sound in his trials, will assert it not through sharpness of tongue, but rather the report of the fist. Should he find himself in victory, and the conquest was fair, as unjust exploit was avoided, the act itself will sound fanfare of his worth. And that translates to, let your abilities tell of your skill, not your words. Prioritize humility, and avoid bragging. Cheating and exploiting in any form is not tolerated, and always show respect to your opponents. And I think amidst some of the chaos that has occurred in this war, the latter point can be lost to an extent. One thing I'd like to remind everybody, that even though, Shadow Moses exists concurrently with us, they play BR, they do their thing, they do their teaming, whatever, we still have to uphold the high standard despite the conflict. We still have to be the beacon of what it means to be, demonstrate a high degree of sportsmanship, while at the same time being highly effective, a well-oiled machine of killers. So that means a few things need to be followed. For the majority of you, this does not need to be stated, but it's a good reminder for all of us regardless. Because in a time of conflict like this, some things can easily be overlooked or forgotten. When you find yourself in BR, there's a few general rules that you should always adhere to. One is that you should stay in a fight even if you're losing.
I don't remember.
We found out who he was. He was the freaking Marine guy, and then I acted I was a Marine dude too. And he was like, "Oh, Rob, brother," and it's like,
I have morals, but my morals are almost like crossed. I wanted
fucking morals.
I wanted a deep fake fucking Avengers one. And do some shit, but I was like, I shouldn't.
That stuff can have like legal repercussions, I think.
Yeah. Well, no, not really.
You gotta be careful with bullying, alright?
But yeah, he might kill himself.
Yeah, that's the main
who
reason.
would kill himself?
That's the main reason.
He would kill himself. I mean, this is his livelihood, so like he sells out so hard.
Dude, he makes like from his regular day job.
From his regular day job? I thought he was just a or something.
No,
he's an.
I found his fucking I found his salary from last year and the year before that. years.
Oh, what a piece of shit!
Crazy.
Come on.
I'm just saying he took out his dog for sympathy.
Oh, 100%.
Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. You can't.
So the rumors in question are that some of my personal information has been getting publicized, including like how much money I make and like my career and like kind of stuff like that, which I find a little disturbing. So I just wanted to hear from you because I believe you're LR leadership, correct?
Yeah. This is the first time I'm hearing about this, to be honest.
Okay, so nobody in LR is actively doxing me or finding my personal information or anything like that?
No,
okay.
no. So they had the legit information.
They have legitimate information. They have my salary, my name, my address, you know, like everything. And they've been posting it around on alt accounts, and I'm trying to track down who the hell it is what really is concerning to me, right? That to me is where it's like completely unacceptable, because that is criminal, legitimately.
Yes, it is. I mean, look, think about it. This has to be personal. It's that detailed, right? It's that. It's literally a criminal activity. It has to be personal. Yeah. It has to be somebody that you have really, really bad blood, right? I mean, you can say all you want about, you know, orgs and shit, but brother, like nobody ever tried to shit on your plate when it comes to your streaming career, right?
So like, I need to hear this from you. I need to know that you guys would never go there, because if it's not you, I'm going to take your word for it, and I'm going to find out who did this, because this is unacceptable.
Doxing is not acceptable here as well. It's just completely stupid. I mean, look, between like you and me, if there is a guy in LR that really hates you and doesn't talk about it, how the fuck should I know? Like, I have nothing publicly, you know what I mean? But I don't think there's anybody in LR who has a feud with you that would go to such lengths.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, must be somebody you know personally, probably. Or if it's hackers, then I guess they can find the information. I mean,
right? And then also, and then I hear a rumor that you guys are spitting on people at CitizenCon. Like, what's that all? Is that true, or is that just bullshit?
That is, I think that's true.
What happened there?
But it's not us. It's not us.
Oh, it's not you guys. Then who the fuck was
it?
it?
No. It is a guy from LR. It is a guy from LR.
So what happened
there
with
was
that?
Like, that was too... listen, this is a hearsay. I haven't really gone into too many details, but apparently 2 girls almost got at each other, right?
Oh.
From what I heard. And the spit was there, like, to cut it all out.
Oh.
Something like that.
Which girls are we talking about?
That's what I know. I think it's Gabby and girlfriend of Battery, I think.
Has this person been disciplined if they're an LR guy? Have they apologized for what they did?
I don't think so. There's a feud there going long. I am not interfering.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Thanks for taking my call. I'm obviously, I'm sure the guys have told you I'm just investigating some stuff. I've been hearing.
They've told me only things that I need to know, basically. So like,
which would be,
that someone is making a bunch of memes about you, like hurtful memes, I guess, or like doxing type of stuff. Is what I heard.
Right. So I mean, I should just probably tell you kind of where I'm coming from, so you understand.
Yeah.
You know, when I heard some stuff that happened at CitizenCon. I'm not completely in the loop. I can only go based off of the stuff I know at the time. That's why I'm interviewing people, because I want, again, there's their truth, your truth, and then the real truth, right? That's kind of what I'm looking for here, right? You know, so I saw some pictures, and the pictures were talking about how, I guess, you spit on Gabby. You know, it was at CitizenCon. the pictures I saw, from my standpoint, told a very specific story of, somebody that took it a little too far and did something inappropriate, and people were kind of, not saying like, hey, you shouldn't do that. It was kind of like, hey, like, good on you. And that paints a pretty poor picture, right?
Understandable. Yeah.
So I want to know the context, right? Because from my standpoint, like, Gabby and I are friends. I think she's genuinely a good person. I know there's been a lot of stuff flying around about it. I know there's people having opinions on this and that, and I don't know the full context as to what happened with mental shock, what led up to him committing suicide, and then eventually what ended up, you having such strong feelings against her. So I just want you to take me through it, tell it from your point of view, so I understand the context here.
Okay, so basically, to start it all off, we ended up starting an org together, right? It was me, Gabby, Shock, and a couple other friends.
3 Strike.
And yeah, 3 Strikes, which at first was totally kosher. Like, everybody loved each other. It was all good. And then animosity started building up, but not towards each other. It was like towards the game. And no one hated each other. Like, before all that shit happened, I was an advocate for Gabby, so I had her on my business. I was just, like, promoting her really, really well for StarCitizen. So I liked her. She was an amazing person until the incident. So the incident was, and it was a personal one for me, was my little brother came onto the Discord one day, and he was pleading for help. One of his friends wanted to commit suicide, and my brother, being young at the time, didn't know how to handle it. So he was outreaching, trying to ask for help on what he should do.
I mean,
So this was like 1, 2 in the morning, and I was passed out. I had just finished the photo shoot, so I was completely beat, and I went to bed. So a friend of mine, K9, is a very close friend to me, and he knows my family. I've known him for maybe 10 years now. So my little brother knows that he has Discord, and he can contact him through Discord. So my little brother didn't know how to use Discord at the time because he wasn't that into Discord and all that. He's more of a console player. So he finally got a hold of K9, but he did it through general chat. So he's asking K9. K9 was sitting in a group chat with Gabby and a bunch of her followers. And he was asking on the general chat, hey, my friend just sent me a goodbye note. I'm worried. What should I do? So K9 tried handling the situation. Gabby's followers were having mental breakdowns because someone was talking about committing suicide. So she was trying to handle that. K9 was trying to handle this. The guys in her chat were trying to tell my little brother things to do, but K9 yelled at them, leave it alone, let me handle it type of deal. One good thing they did was Shock at the time ended up making the general chat private, so no one else could see it but us. And which was a good idea. Perfect. So no one else could tell my little brother to do something stupid, right? But in the process of them doing that, Gabby started deleting my little brother's messages for pleading for help. Right after the other, just started deleting them all. Because in her words were, this looks bad for the org. We shouldn't have this here. It should put it in DMs, but I'm coming from my little brother's perspective now. What if it wasn't my little brother's friend that was committing suicide, but my little brother just outreaching for help? And then while he's outreaching, he sees all his messages of pleading oh, my friend sent a goodbye letter, start getting deleted from Discord.
Do you feel like he was saying that he wanted to do that?
No. It was his actual friend. So the situation was, his friend was legitimately that night going to commit suicide. And K9 ended up calling the police, calling everybody that he had to. He even found my number online because I run a business, and ended up finding my number and blasting me just endless amounts of phone calls. Cops ended up going to the little boy's house and saving his life. So the little kid was saved that night, pretty much, from K9's efforts and my little brother providing the phone call or the phone number for the little boy and all that. So it was a legitimate reason why my brother's friend was going to commit suicide. So that's why my little brother was outreaching, because he had no idea like how to handle the situation, and he needed someone's help. So they did save the little boy that night. So thank God. The little kid hangs out every other weekend at my pad. So it's that's why I took it so personally, because I know the little boy, and it was devastating, like hearing this in the morning when I missed it. But K9 helped, so I'm glad that he was able to help, and I'm glad that little boy's still in my life.
Okay,
And,
so help me understand this. So Gabby deleting some of these messages, was this after the situation had been?
No, this was during the situation was going on.
Okay, so was she impeding the communication between you and this kid, like to the point where like somebody would type something and then like after 30 seconds she'd get rid of it right away? Like, what was the context here?
She started from the very beginning. So when my brother was pleading for help,
okay,
and you could see all the messages started getting deleted from the top. So this is started just going like one by one from the top to the bottom, reaching to where they were at.
I understand, but this event was happening in real time, correct?
Yes, in real time.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the communication between K9 and your brother, that was still going on, correct?
Yes.
And you feel like she was doing that maliciously?
I mean, not maliciously, but pretty much you don't do that in that type of situation. And you could have at least waited for the conversation and everything to end, because this is someone's life we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I was so mad about it is because it's my family. Like you're kind of hurting my family.
Your brother's friend.
Yeah.
And then, so from that point forward, you kind of had beef, I guess, with Gabby. Is that correct?
Yeah, because in her eyes, she was doing right for the image, but at the same time, I was like, man, this is someone's life you're playing with. Like, forget an image, forget all that. Like, this is someone's life, and she wouldn't accept it. So ever since then, I was like, all right, you do you, I'll do me, and we'll leave it at that.
I guess when you're at CitizenCon, I guess you were, the rumor, is what I can understand, is you were with your girlfriend, I guess, at the time. And
yes, I was.
Yeah, just walk me through what happened. Just walk me through it.
Okay.
Because there's three different fucking stories. Like, just walk me through what happened from you.
Yeah, I know you're getting the whole telephone.
Yeah, that's why I want to go straight.
Messages.
You know what I mean? Like, just to cut the bullshit.
Pretty much what happened was I noticed Gabby outside of the bar, so I was walking up to her to go talk to her. I was gonna make it the cordial, like, we're gonna end this here type of communication. Like, I want nothing to do with you. You want nothing to do with me. We're going our separate ways. Because prior, she was DMing me. I did a memorial thing for Shock, and instead of like her taking it to heart and like, oh, it was beautiful, she ended up DMing me complaining about wrong dates and this and that, and that it doesn't seem like I care, but I've known Shock fucking about 4 years before she came into the picture. That's a whole different story though. So anyways, I was gonna talk to her and like kind of squash it, and when I walked up to her, she looked at me and she completely gave me the cold shoulder and walked away. So me being the LA person, and like I got mad, I got heated. Everybody's saying that I spat on her. What I did is I spat on the floor in front of her. So a sign of disrespect, like, fucking, when I give me the cold shoulder, you don't want to take it. She like locked eyes with me, and then she completely just blew me off and went away. I was like, all right, so I spat on the floor in front of her foot.
Okay.
So that's what I did. Spat on the floor in front of her foot, but spit. Everybody's gonna be like, oh, they spat on her. So
yeah.
So that's what happened. I was like, I got disrespected right there and then. So I was like, all right, we're gonna end it like this. So I spat on the floor and I walked away. I was like, my girl, on the other hand, from the situation, she just wanted to fight. So it could have been a full blown fight with girl on girl, but I pulled her away and I made sure that no one's night was ruined, because you don't want to do that in public. Like, there's a time and place, and I was like, no, we're not. And then she was more mad at the situation with my little brother, and then her doing that, like locking eyes with us and then turning away and giving us the cold shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what she was like extremely pissed off about. And you know, we're more of a respect kind of people. When you show, if you're gonna show us that kind of disrespect, then we're gonna show you that kind of disrespect.
But you're taking her just locking eyes and looking away from you as the kind of disrespect. You're just like, okay, so please give me context of what am I looking at here?
1 second.
Have you ever doxed anybody? Has that ever been a thing you've done?
No. I don't know who the hell this is. I know who Shock is, but doxing someone, no.
Is this a fabricated image? Do you suspect this as being fake?
I mean, yeah, I fucking, when was this taken? 2012 and 22? Yeah, to be honest, I can't, I don't know. I've never doxed anyone, so no, I can't tell you can't give you a real answer about this one. This is, like I said, I'm really good with Photoshop, and I can make anything look legit, so.
Can you explain this one? And do you know the context as to what scripts he's talking about?
Chat, 0 scripts. Unless they're talking about the situation that you were dealing with. Remember the Night City?
Yeah.
So back in the day, I was just like you, trying to figure it out. And it wasn't necessarily scripting. What I was doing is I was trying to figure out who was doing it to upload it to SIG to like send it in. And I had a folder on my desktop for a while, like with names, pictures, and different people's names in a folder. So I don't know if he's
of people you suspected of cheating.
Yeah.
Do you have that folder?
I do not. Since you uploaded it and I sent it to SIG, I deleted pretty much everything of it. But I was in the process of trying to like figure out. I had a whole bunch of links referring to like different names that you can see in like MFDs and stuff like that. And if he's talking about that, then that's the only thing that I could know of being anywhere close to like cheats and shit. Because I love StarCitizen, and seeing that like truly pissed me off, and I was like, oh, I gotta find all these people. But other than that, I mean,
yeah, I mean, cheating is, I mean, that's a pretty,
yeah, especially in an alpha, it's like,
yeah, if there's one thing that'll galvanize an entire community, it's cheaters. I mean, nobody likes them.
But yeah, that's the only thing that I could think of this.
Because this is claiming that you doxed somebody, and this is from Shock. Shock saying that you took it as a threat, that you guys had a fight. Like, what's the context there? Did you guys have a falling out?
We had a falling out, but I didn't have a falling out with Shock.
Why did he have a falling out with you then?
Unless he's talking about the doxing being me having his address. But the thing is, he sent me packages, so of course I would have his address. But that's the only thing I could think that, because I don't think I've ever threatened anybody with doxing.
And you would never do that?
I would only do it if someone threatened doxing me, or like threatened my family type of shit. Unless that's what they're getting at. But
do you feel like someone's threatened your family?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, no one.
Yeah, but in your judgment, is this screenshot I'm looking at, is this fabricated, or is this something that happened? That's all I want to know. Because if this is I mean, you'd know, right? Because if this is a bogus screenshot, then I can at least identify what information is misinformation and what information may be more legitimate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this a bogus image?
100% this could be a bogus image, but like I said, I don't have the DMs. Like, a lot of people can make a lot of, like,
yeah.
Take me for example. I can make me and you talking right now and screenshot this and make it look like we're going at it like super hardcore about things. Like, being in the profession of where I'm sitting at, like, with Photoshop and all that, you can make an image look as real as possible. So
yeah. All right, well, Keep memeing away, dude.
Alrighty, muchacho. Just know, no animosity towards you or your Avenger guys.
After the conversation with Buttery, I couldn't help but feel like he was hiding so much from me. I knew that he was lying to me because he was in the room when the doxing was going on about my personal information with the rest of his friends. So there was some context there that was missing. When I confronted him about the screenshots that Mental Shock had and about the fact that he's been cheating and scripting, he went completely silent for so long I've had to edit that section out of the video. He also claims that he spit beside Gabby and not on her, but yet clearly in the picture when he originally posted it, he says very clearly that he spit on her, and yet the story's changed multiple times. Don't forget, this is the same man who claimed to do deepfakes or was wanting to do deepfakes. If he's hiding something, I couldn't get it out of him, but what I felt from that conversation was that something was going on. There was some narrative being spun, and I was going to get to the bottom of it. And the only way to do that was to go right back into the Lion's Den and sit down with LR leadership and confront them on some things I had seen from these internal leakers that had been coming to me. Was I being manipulated by people outside? Or was something malicious going on? I know me and you spoke about some of the stuff going on yesterday, you know, and I don't know what's going on internally with you guys, but, you know, I'm getting conflicting stories from what's going on with the Gabby situation. Do you guys have any information about that?
I've only like overheard what happened, but that's, again, that's not in our hands. We can't control what people are doing on another part of the world when we're not even there. Like,
so
regardless of what it was,
right? But you don't condone what happened, is what I'm saying.
No, I mean, why would we? But again, we cannot control anything that happens outside of our boundaries within the game, you know?
Well, I mean, sure. But I mean, if it was one of my guys that did that, I'd be a little upset too. I'd be like, what the hell, dude?
Well, yeah, but Azur is not who said that we are not reacting to it or we haven't spoken with him, but they have a long history.
Because the truth is, like, Gabby's my friend, and she was pretty ripped up about it. She was pretty pissed off.
Well, look.
I mean, if someone, like I said, I was saying, if someone spit on me, I'd be pissed off too, right?
I know, but listen.
Because I get more screenshots today.
You have.
Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean, but talking about this particular situation, which I really don't want to get involved, is like there's a person who was in LR together with Gabby, who killed himself. Mental Shock.
Oh, I know that.
I don't want to
so
talk
he
about
was, man. Yeah, I know, Azur. Like, it's fucked up. So he was Battery's friend, right? They have a beef, bro. Like, what do we do with that, right? If he did something more to Gabby, she could sue his ass, right? So he has to, you know, deal with the consequences. You know what I mean? But what am I supposed to do? If you really want to know, as a friend, you can directly reach out to Battery. He's a mod on Academy. He's a very open guy. And he's like the last guy I would think of doing something aggressively or illegally or whatever. Really. So, you know, if you really want to know,
I would like to speak to him, to be honest.
Because you reach out to him, please, because I don't want to.
It has to be solved on a one-to-one basis.
So, if you want to make sure you know all the information, reach out to him, see what he's gonna respond, because he was the one who actually mentioned that. He didn't hide the fact that he did it. Right. So, I'm just saying, fucked up. Listen to the story if you really want to know, but we are really not involved in that shit.
Okay. But as far as you know, Buggy / Pancakes has never done anything either when it comes to running scripts or anything like that?
No, to our knowledge, no.
Okay. So when someone sends me something like this, can you give me some context here?
Let's see.
Dude, that guy is the biggest bullshitter on internet.
Buggy?
Yeah, he posts shit on Reddit where he edits CIG pictures,
and adds some renders a new camo on some ship.
Oh my god!
And writes just for $2.99, and then watches how people respond on Reddit, thinking of buying, and raging that they cannot buy.
His Facebook groups, you don't know about them? He has
he's a meme lord.
Yeah, he's really trolling.
Okay. And one final thing.
Man, somebody really.
Yeah. I understand that. Look, I understand that AVS and LR have had our differences, okay? And I have been stream sniped by different organizations. As far as you guys know, LR has never engaged in stream sniping operations or anything like that, ever, correct?
I mean, what do you mean by that? Like, we just play the game.
Like
We're not here.
like using alts when I'm live streaming to set me up and go after me for propaganda purposes.
So
when we play, I don't think so. We play with the mains.
So right, because I know that there've been other organizations who've done it to me, and it's been frustrating because I'm trying to track down alt accounts, and I'm like, who's who? Like, you know what I mean?
I am pretty sure you can find your old logs when you're being attacked by members of LR. They're all on their real accounts.
Okay.
They don't hide.
Yeah. So when someone sends me this, I need some context for this.
Wait, I need a good bishop. Discord. Okay, so that's LRPD. I think that's out of context, out of LRPD.
Okay, can you explain this as well?
So that's their own little trolling org. They basically what they do. I'm sure you've seen one of my videos a long time ago, actually, where they basically try to capture people and then send them to jail. And it's done like for funsies. It's like not intended to kind of be harmful. Personally, I don't even know what they're talking about because it's.
If he combat logs, it's just a delicious considering it's a 1L propaganda material. Creating a sting would be with alts, where they would set up an event after X time and get CPs to sting them, operators, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it looks pretty clear to me, man.
Yeah.
Like,
okay,
so you're telling me these
I didn't
aren't...
read that. Let me explain.
Like, what's the context here?
No. So that's just people talking. Like, we never have attacked you, especially like in PU or any of the sort. Like, I don't really understand where that is coming from, other than just talking, just to talk. You know what I mean?
So it's all talk.
It's all talk. Have you ever been engaged in the? I mean, I'm sure you have, but in the PU or
not directly by LR people in that sense, but I don't know who's LR and who's not, considering everyone's running alts.
Well, right. Did you get attacked by a blue with distortions?
Right.
You haven't. So.
It might have been them, yeah. If it was a blue with distortions, well,
that's them. And they knew how to fly with VTOL. That's
who's them?
That could be people from the
LRPD. That's
LRPD.
Who they are. It's classified, man. OPSEC, come on.
This is just talk.
But we don't condone it. Like, we just let them play. Like, we're not policing our people, you know? Like, in terms of
well, that seems a bit a bit unfair, because that means that they can just go off and do whatever they want. You can't have any responsibility for it. Because I asked yesterday.
No.
Not like that. Not like
because they don't do it, bro. They don't do it. They don't do that.
They just play. It's in a very cheerful way. Like, they don't really try to aggravate people. Like, it's just gameplay, dude. Like, how can you inhibit gameplay? Like, do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's not with malicious intent. It's just them playing. And I mean, I've taken part of that once or twice and then made a video about it. But as you can see in the video, it's just random fun.
So they would PU, and that's all it is. It would never go farther than that, correct?
To my understanding, yeah.
Okay.
But then again, I don't actively police them, or we actively police
them. So then who does?
Nobody. Like, our people are reasonable. Like, they don't go like we're trying to get with this. Like, we're trying to get out of this. What kind of answer you want?
I just want the truth, because I don't understand the context here. It looks to me like it's pretty obvious that you guys are coming after me, because I've had a lot of issues in the past, and LR's got a lot of reasons,
dude,
like to
they're just talking to talk, dude. They're just talking
This is
to
again.
talk.
This is again.
Out of context.
Stolen information.
Okay.
From a segment of a private Discord, which is also to be mentioned here. This is not public Discord. This is a closed Discord, and somebody is taking, like, you know, going through your trash behind the house and coming up with whatever, right?
But trust me, man. Like, if we ever went after you, you would know exactly that's us. Like, you would notice immediately. Like, it's you understand? Like, there's no reason to do this, like, under the table. Just, I don't know.
So when somebody sends me this, and Hiba, you told me yesterday that nobody would ever dox, and yet they're saying that there's a history of this behavior in LR
this is from Shock.
Through Buttery. So what is going on here,
This is the
guys?
guy. I don't know what is going on, but this is 23rd, 5th, 2022, bro. Like, these guys are not part of LR at that time.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
They are not part of LR. This is like May 2022. That's like more than a year and a half ago, bro.
Yeah, I can't comment on this.
Wait, I can forgive Barry.
See, I have to read everything.
So what's the context here? Because I don't have the full conversation.
This is tied with what I told you about Battery and Gabby history.
Yeah, I don't. I'm
So
not aware
if you see his brother, I get why he was angry. That was a mistake. Threats against family is malicious. Yeah, this is tied to a beef between Battery and Gabby, which happened before both of them were LR. We really fucking don't want to get involved there.
Yeah. It's really easy to. I don't even want to say manipulate information, because you're not manipulating information. Just taking information out of context can have a very detrimental effect to the wording and the meaning. You know,
like a log off video.
The what?
Like a log off video made by Seven. That was pretty out of context. To be honest, I thought you guys are better than that.
Listen, I didn't tell him to do it. I don't know, man. Like, again, I have a full-time job. Haiba has kids, has a full-time job. Like, we cannot be there for every single thing. Sometimes things get done, and then we're like, oh, okay.
Okay. Wait. On that video, okay. Let's end this talk once and for all about that video. If you never called us Wigglers, cheaters, which did happen, you would not know we exist, bro. You would literally not know we exist. Because we are not in a business of ruining your day, going against you, which can be observed in daily activities. And if your people tell you what happens in BR, you will know with whom we go to war, bro. So it ain't you, it ain't your org. Now, because of all of that, when somebody makes a video like this where you log out in the middle of the battle before dying, what can I do about it? Like, you don't go on on a stream and say like, yeah, like, maybe I was wrong about LR, calling them Wigglers, cheaters, whatever. Trust me, nobody would ever. You would not know we exist.
You want to explain this?
A meme, bro.
Just a joke.
But you
want to explain
the
this?
question? A meme again. A private, I might add.
Okay.
Not a public one.
Really?
So
Because people
that's-
are posting them in other public areas.
Listen,
I don't find that funny, man.
Listen, no. This is extremely funny, man. And I find it surprising that you don't find it funny. This was done without my knowledge, and listen, man, it's funny.
Okay, that's your
And
that's your
it's a meme.
position.
Yeah.
It is a meme because this is a
It is a meme.
picture. Before that picture, you see how open Azure mouth is?
There was
Wow.
something else. Don't worry about
There
it.
was something else.
Listen, there's plenty of things you don't see. We make fun of each other. We make fun of other people. It's like it's not with the intention of making others upset. You just have to deal with it. Like it's just a meme, right? Why should be upset of pictures like that? Because there's plenty of more like that, actually.
Yeah, I know. Okay, well, I think I've heard enough.
Yeah, man. I don't know why you're so upset to us. Like it really makes no sense.
It's just, it's just,
This is again from a private Discord.
it's okay. Maybe from a private Discord, but it's showing up in places that aren't private, right? So to me, it's like, I mean, you want to have your fun, that's fine. You want to not take responsibility for anything, that's fine. But it's just, there are points that was, listen.
It's not that we're not taking responsibility. It's just that it's a meme. How can we censor a meme, dude? Like, and it's making fun of me and you, but me too. Like, I mean, there's plenty, like, it's just aggravating, man. Like, it makes no sense. Like, why would you get caught up on that? Like, there's plenty of worse memes around in the world, and people don't make a fuss of it. It's just a meme, dude.
All right. Thanks for the call, boys.
Listen, can I tell you one last thing in a good closing note? Don't trash talk us, and you're not gonna have problems with us. Not that if you were to trash talk us, you would have problems with us. You may or may not, but like,
is that a threat?
If there's no, dude, come on, dude, this is a video game.
So you would never go outside of the game, correct?
No, I would never go outside the game. Why would I ever go outside of the game? Like, I have my life. You have your life.
Okay.
Like,
what if your life got posted in public?
Well, that's not my problem, you know.
It's not your problem.
Because of course not. My life or your life? What are you talking about?
What I'm saying is, what if someone posted your personal information in a public space? What if someone doxed the shit out of you?
That's wrong. That's
wrong, right?
That's wrong. Of
and
course,
if you knew
100%.
about that and did nothing about it, what would that make you?
What do you mean?
If you knew about that behavior was going on within LR, would you do anything about it?
About my life? Or anyone's life, actually.
Of course, we would do anything about it if our
100.
people doxed somebody.
Yeah,
Like,
are you crazy? What are you even asking? Like, our gameplay stays within the game. We don't go outside of the game ever.
Also, I wanna just add something. You can trash talk. Trash talk is good. Sport.
Wake up. Come on, Hiva.
No. The trash talking is not the same as accusations of something greater. That's not trash talk, bro.
That's true. That's true.
Like when you say this guy's on steroids, that's why he's winning all the races. That's not trash talk.
Right.
When you say he sucks, blah blah blah, is a pussy, that's a trash talk.
Yeah, you can say that. That's true.
Okay, well, we can agree to disagree on some of these points, but, you know, if you ever hear anything that goes outside the game, you let me know.
Of course.
Talk
Remember,
shit, pretty much.
Dude, like, when you show us, like, the chats, it's really difficult for us at the moment to come up with a counter. Do you understand that? Like, this is stuff that's been said a very long time ago, and it's really hard to show you things.
This ABS one was posted in 2023. In May.
Yeah.
That's recent.
That's a meme. That's a meme, dude. Come on.
Well, I'm just asking because if they start
Yeah,
sending
it's a
more
meme. It's a meme, but again, posted in our locker room, bro. Like, you know, it's really private information, and you know, take it as you will. But like, there's memes of Azure as well. So it's a joke. But again, you can't accuse us of something if like we have a poster in our house, in our locked room, right? And somebody comes in and quickly takes a picture and goes out and says, "This is what they do." When did we do it? Like, did we post this shit somewhere? No, we didn't. And if you have a proof that it's posted in public, please let us know, because we made sure they all understand that shit never leaves our Discord.
Yes, exactly.
Which means I don't ban a guy for making a meme, because we allow them to meme ourselves, right? To create an atmosphere in the team. But that doesn't leave our house. If it did leave our house, please let us know. And that will be dealt with. But A+ with black names, that's our Discord. Battery with this El Battery de Paqueno, or whatever the fuck you read this, that's also our Discord.
Right.
Okay, thank you for your conversation, guys, and I'll see you later.
Thank you, man. Yep.
Thank you for reaching out.
Bye.
They say there's always 3 sides to a story. Your side, their side, and the truth. So I sat back down and spoke with Gabby, and I got her to explain her side of the story. What happened with Mental, what happened with LR, and if any of this makes sense. I leave the decision up to you, the viewer, to decide what really is going on. It's not my place to judge or decide who's right or wrong, because all I can do is give you the information I have and let you decide.
For like 1.5 years or 1 year, like trying to put up with his mental breakdowns and like trying to get him to find a therapist and help, and like I tried so many things. None of them did anything. I was the only one, and it was like affecting my mental a lot. Like trying so hard to fix him, like really broke me down. Yeah.
Do you feel like the environment that he was in negatively affected him?
Of course. Like, apparently, like, he wasn't happy at work. Well, that's one. And I was trying to get him to quit and find another job because, yeah, I mean, trying to make someone quit is not the best, but he was always complaining that they were treating him like trash.
He was complaining about that?
Yeah, he was always so miserable about his work environment. I was forcing him to quit and find another job. And he actually started putting some, he started sending some stuff to other jobs and stuff, and he was like, well, they don't pay so well, blah, blah. And like he applied for other jobs, but I told him like, just quit and like just take like a few weeks to yourself and then like try to find a new job, because like he was really bad like mentally. But like, I mean, it really affected him that Kanan and Seven and Valerie weren't talking to him. Like, I have conversations where he was like that really messed him up too. Like
that they stopped talking to him?
Yeah.
The environment that he was in around them was actually really negative.
Yes. Well, he was always saying he was alone.
People who are depressed typically feel that way, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, I don't know, because I spent months like trying to figure out how it could have gone different, but I don't know. Like I was like, oh, maybe like like maybe I could have stopped him if I went there in person and helped him in person, you know. But like even K9 said something, or who said it? I don't remember who said it. They were like, yeah, but like he will be like kind of like a prisoner, like in there just trying to help someone, you know. I feel like he deserved better friends in his life. And he had good friends with us, like in our group. Like I was always there for him, and like he was always laughing in our Discord when we were playing games. He was always happy.
He was happy
So
there. Was he that kind of happy when he was in LR?
Oh no, it was always weird. It was a really weird environment. And they will ask him to join, but they wouldn't let me join because I was a prospect. So he had conversations with Lycosar, and he was like, well, Gabby is my teammate, like we need to practice together. And they were like, no, she cannot join us because this is like internal training between us. And he's like, yeah, but like all of your teams are training and I need to train with Gabby and blah blah. And like Lycosar wasn't letting him. And he told me, like Shock told me, he yelled at Lycosar and got really mad. And that's when they let me play with them. You know, they let me join the training. So I wanted to leave LR since like the first or second week, and like I spent so much time in the Avengers Squadron Discord because everyone was so nice, you know. So that really affected him, and like I will constantly ask him to go to therapy, blah blah. It was scaring me a lot, so I backed out a little from the situation, and I was like, I was still helping him, but I was trying to stay in the outside.
Yeah.
Because it was scaring me, you know, like, I don't know, like I have never dealt with a situation like that before, like. I always had nice things in my life and everything, and I never had situations like that. Like they always shit talked every single streamer that streams StarCitizen, and like, well, like I didn't leave because of Shock. It was a really toxic environment, and I was like, this is not normal, and I just started like showing people these screenshots. I didn't like them at all because like of how people are there, you know, like they have no morals, they have no respect, and like they are just a really that's like the worst org I have been in, and I was in like 5 orgs, and the environment is just so toxic and so bad, so I didn't care. I didn't like them. But these people, they pretend to be nice. They fabricate lies. They fabricate stories that are not true to make someone look bad. And they lie to other people, pretending they are super nice, super humble. And like internally, they are doxing. They are spitting on people. That is messed up, you know?
Yeah. Do you feel like when this goes public, there'll be retaliation?
I don't think so.
You feel like once you kind of expose like what's really going on there, that people will see it for what it is?
I feel like some people will, and other people won't, because they still want to believe a lie, and that is fine. You know, like not a lot of people are gonna see the truth, but in time, like everyone sees the truth, and the truth always comes out. So there's gonna be things to back up the stories, you know, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, what they did to you is unacceptable, right?
Yeah.
You know, if they're gonna hide behind an elaborate escapade of misdirection, I mean, sure, right?
His last day, I think he said everything he wanted to say to me. Like he told me like all his feelings. I think like the last night, and I was really scared, and like I did care about him a lot, you know. So I was like, please, like don't do this. Like you have all these people that care about you. I care about you. Whatever storyteller makes, sure, you can say whatever you want, but like at the end of the day, I think I'm the only one who knows what really happened, and people in my community. So, and at the end, like around like August, like I started asking people's help. They started helping me. Like we even had to call the police to stop one of his attempts, and the police actually went to his house, and his roommate got super upset, like, like why is the police here? Like it's messed up that they use a dead person to justify their actions. That it's just really sad. And if they want to blame someone, they should blame themselves for not being there for Shock, because I was the only one there for him. And all these people trying to use his death now, like they weren't there for him. They weren't talking to him. They said they stopped talking to him because they didn't want to deal with his mental. And that he was, Kanan told me that he was this way, like way before he met me. And that he would have done it like way before he met me, and that I gave him 1 more year. I always ask his old friends. His old friends basically stopped talking to him since, I don't know, February 2022. And I will always try to make them talk to him, play with him, do something, or like try to fix their friendship, you know? Because part of me felt that they actually cared about each other, and they, like, after he passed away, or I asked them, why did you guys just stop talking to him? Why did you guys walk away when you knew he was dealing with some stuff? And they were like, they told me they didn't want to deal with that, you know, that they wanted him to try to fix it, and that it was really exhausting, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like the LR leadership could have done more? Do you feel like they could have addressed it more? Or do you feel like they mostly were interested in their image rather than the kind of well-being of their pilots?
I feel like they just cared about their image. I didn't really feel any real friendships in that org. It was also always such an uncomfortable environment. And it was always like, guys, like in public, you behave. I remember one time one of the leadership yelled at one of the members because he was speaking out in public, in a public channel. And they were like, okay, like, just stop talking. You're ruining everything. Let us do the talking. And like, they try to control everything just so they look good, you know? I think that's all they care about.